late September. Tortuguero lies on Costa Rica's northeastern Caribbean coast.
The beach remains humid and warm from the previous day, while the eastern horizon slowly begins to pale.
Behind the sand, rainforest forms a dark wall. Beneath the surface, a buried green turtle nest begins to move as the sand settles and lifts.
Inside the chamber, hatchlings push upward together, packing loosened sand beneath their bodies with every stroke.
One dark head appears, slips back, then breaks through again as the shallow nest opening widens.
Although these are green turtles, their new shells are nearly black, edged by thin, pale margins. Each body is only about the length of a human palm, and its sex cannot be seen externally. No adult waits above the nest. The female returned to the Caribbean after covering the eggs.
The first hatchling reaches open sand and pauses, breathing while cool coastal air moves across its shell.
A low glow stretches across the water, while the taller rainforest blocks much of the sky behind.
The hatchling turns away from the vegetation and begins crawling toward the broad, brighter horizon.
Its front flippers reach forward and pull. The rear flippers push, then drag through loose grains. Each complete stroke gains only a few centimeters across a beach broken by nesting tracks and ridges.
One ridge rises above the shell. The hatchling climbs halfway, slides back, and tries a lower angle.
A stronger pull carries its chest over the crest, and the small body finally follows.
Other hatchlings spread from the collapsing nest, sharing the same direction without following exactly the same path.
Small hollows turn the main hatchling sideways before a weathered length of driftwood blocks the shortest route. It follows the wood, catches briefly beneath a low edge, and keeps pushing as sand gathers below. Night offered cooler sand and some cover from hunters. That protection is thinning with the first light. Beside a burrow, an Atlantic ghost crab waits almost hidden, with only raised eyes and leg tips visible. A nearby hatchling passes too close. The crab rushes sideways faster than the small turtle can turn. Sand scatters near the burrow, while farther downshore the main hatchling continues directly toward the surf. The surface beneath its body becomes darker, firmer, and easier to cross as dry sand gives way.
Each pull now leaves a sharper mark, and the sound of breaking waves grows louder ahead.
A thin sheet of foam reaches across the wet sand and stops just before the hatchling. The next wash touches the shell, lifts the front edge, and drains away almost as quickly.
The turtle slides backward and ends facing along the shoreline instead of toward open water.
Before it can turn fully, another line of white water approaches from behind and closes around the shell.
White water rolls the small body once against the sandy bottom, filling the view with bubbles and black grains. For several seconds, the turtle disappears. Then its front flippers begin a broader, stronger movement. On land, those flippers pulled against sand. Here they drive water backward and lift the body upward.
The hatchling reaches the surface for air, but a second breaker catches it before shore disappears.
This time the turtle is not carried back onto the sand. It continues forward beneath the wave.
It leaves the shallow wash and enters deeper, restless water where the sandy bottom remains visible below.
Incoming waves help young turtles maintain a course away from land during the first part of the journey.
Farther offshore, magnetic cues can support that direction when the coastline is no longer visible.
The hatchling keeps moving through bubbles, foam, and changing blue light without stopping to rest. Energy remaining from the egg powers this early effort through the dangerous water nearest the beach. Continuous movement reduces the time spent among predators concentrated near the shoreline and breaking surf.
A few small fish pass below as suspended sand settles and the water gradually becomes clearer.
At this size, the turtle has no shell strength or shelter sufficient to remove the danger.
Its best chance is continued movement, stroke after stroke, away from the turbulent surf zone.
The sandy seabed becomes less distinct beneath the turtle as the depth increases and dawn light spreads. Behind it, the heavy sound of breakers weakens, and the pale line of surf grows more distant.
The water deepens until the bottom disappears, leaving only the hatchling and open blue space.
Young green turtles spend their earliest years in offshore waters far from the beach where they emerged.
Currents may carry them far across the Caribbean before they eventually enter later coastal feeding habitats. For now, the hatchling alternates steady strokes with brief glides while remaining exposed in open water. The dark shell that blended with night sand now passes beneath a widening field of morning light. No route is guaranteed. Wind, waves, currents, and predators will shape every hour that follows.
Most hatchlings will not survive long enough to return to a nesting beach as mature adults.
On shore, the rising tide reaches the narrow trail carved across the sand by the hatchling. Foam fills each flipper mark, softening the edges and smoothing the dark surface behind it.
Within minutes, the beach reveals little evidence that a palm-sized loggerhead sea turtle crossed it before dawn.
Beyond the breakers, the hatchling continues swimming, still using the energy carried from the egg.
The distance crossed on land was short, but it opened into an ocean without a visible end. The nest, the tracks, and the shore fall behind as the small dark shell moves into the Caribbean.